I've already spent more than one intro talking about Mitsuzane, so I'll be brief. We've seen him go from ally to enemy, sacrificing everything just for his vision of being the new Adam to Mai's Eve in the new Overlord-ruled world. That backfired splendidly, and now Mitsuzane finds every little twisted thing he's done being for absolutely nothing. All that he can do now is cling to Mai, and is in a perfect position for someone to exploit that. The Overlord crisis is over, with the Leaning phrase now extinct. The heroes are currently focusing on helping the people they rescued. Also, we had the reunion between our hero and his friends and sister. Before we can focus on why Kaito is so glum, some leftover invests appear. Even if the Overlords are gone, Helheim is still there. The fight is not over, and of course there is also the thing with Mai, you know? Apparently, having the golden fruit in her body isn't doing her much good, as Mitsuzane discovers soon enough. Ryoma has followed him to Gaim HQ and convinces the trio to let him take her to a hospital. Back at the tower, Kota and Kaito finish up the invest stragglers, and then our hero has the realization that he still has a duty to attend to, one that Kaito suddenly feels shouldn't really be attended to anymore. Seems like Kaito has reverted to his survival of the fittest mentality now, which puts him at odds with Kota again, breaking their alliance and splitting the party. But the subject of Mai comes up and Kota is away! Speaking of which, she's not the only one in need of a doctor. Kaito is still seated, remember, and someone finally finds out. The weather goes Dr. Frankenstein and we're back with Ryoma. He wonders, why did Rosho give Mai the fruit? And our favorite plot exposition device appears to reveal that the fruit must be passed down according to the legends of each race. Which the fruit kinda created? Genius! Anyway, the woman of the beginning is supposed to choose a champion to give the fruit to. Roshwas was his wife. Also, Sagara reveals that he's the one who always gives the fruit to the woman. That translates to a bomb. Sagara, all this time, has been nothing else but the personification of Helheim itself! He's the will of the fucking forest! And then he proceeds to enter Mai's mind. He explains to the girl that her role is to be a witness to the destruction and rebirth of the world. Mai is of course not happy, but Sagara tells her that she doesn't have much of a choice. Back outside, Mitsuzane pressures Sagara into explaining why does the forest want humanity destroyed, but he finally clarifies that he's not really a destroyer, he's just using destruction as a tool to force humanity to evolve. It's what he's always wanted, what he's always done, world after world after world. That's his only desire and reason of life. Mitsuzane explodes, saying that he doesn't care about anything but Mai. Sagara reminds him that, like Kota and Kaito, is now way too late to back out after everything that is done, and that he'll be waiting for the end result. Then we're back to Bando. We're having curry, which is the perfect dish to cheer up some melancholic riders. Kota isn't there yet though, he's looking for Mai, Chaki and Peko in the rain, and always in the rain, Minato is freaking out about Kaito's injury since the infection is fatal! Wait, that means that all those people in the hospital in episode 9, they... Fuck, this show just got even darker! Anyway, Kaito is nonchalant about it. If he dies, that just means that he wasn't strong enough. Questioned by Minato, he confirms that he doesn't care about saving the world because it has nothing in it of value to him, and he wonders who will end first, him or the world. And while she's not terribly convinced, Minato decides to stick by his side. Back in the hospital, we find out that Mai is going to become an overlord too to transform into the woman of the beginning. Ryoma is convinced that he's going to be able to extract the fruit, but will Kota, who needs its power, allow it? Mitsuzane scoffs. Kota sacrificing Mai? Not a chance. But Ryoma reminds him that Kota has even allowed himself to become an overlord. Is he really that predictable? Still, he's way too powerful even for a Genesis driver now. So, the professor unveils a dangerous prototype Lockseed that drains life from the user to power him up, the Hell Fruit Lockseed. And of course, Ryoma knows just what buttons to push to make Mitsuzane decide to take it. Here follows a great heartfelt scene, where Mitsuzane is crushed by the slow realization that all his actions have brought him is loneliness. Still, even if he's rejected by it, he decides to protect the last light in his life, at all costs. After Chucky and Peko try to reenact the Great Escape, we see Kota taking a break from his desperate search at a pier. Then Mitsuzane appears before him, wearing his prototype driver. He declares his intention to finish him off, but Kota dissents. There is no way for Mitsuzane to take over the world anymore, and as such, no reason to fight. But Dark Suit, desperately looking for a reason to justify his existence, just pushes onwards. He opens the Lockseed and transforms him between agonizing pain and black smoke, which is the condition he stays into for the whole battle. Noticing this, Kota refuses to fight at first, but his old friend soon leaves him no other choice. And in exchange for his life, Mitsuzane's power is real. Even the triumphant arms fall easily before him. Still, Kota pleads him to stop. The more power Mitsuzane uses, the more pain he is in, but it falls once again on deaf ears. Seeing him so resolved, so willing to throw away his own life and take Kota's in the process, our hero is forced to use his ultimate weapon, and of course the episode ends! Well, seems like Mitsuzane is about to come full circle, and I think the real snake here is actually Ryoma. He's the one who exploded his weakness and emptiness to make him do the dirty work for him. And Mitsuzane fell hook, line and sinker for it. Ryugen has nothing more to hang on, nothing more to live for except Mai. But she probably won't want anything to do with him anymore, not the way Mitsuzane himself wants to at least. He was looking for anything, any excuse to be useful to her, be in her life as more than someone she'll hate. Ryoma saw that and gave Mitsuzane the opportunity to be her protector once again, even at the cost of his life. And speaking of life, Kaito's candle is about to burn out too, but I think this will just be another reason for him to become this show's final villain. His infection and the humiliation he's gotten at the hands of Roshuo sent him back miles. Every single step towards the light he had taken thanks to Mai and Kota is now taken back and then some. Still, he doesn't have Helheim sponsoring him nor Ryoma. How is he going to clear the gap in power as he now so desperately wants? And finally, oh my god! I would have never, not in a million years, guessed that Sagara was Helheim itself. I mean, he's always seemed so human and multifaceted. Helheim instead has always looked so mechanical in its advance, the perfect predator. All the more to shock us with, I guess. I love the reveal and I love the motivation. Not for the lulz, not because he's evil or revenge or anything, just because it is what he is. I mean, the hints were there, but they were so difficult to put together, and once again, well done writing team. When you're not writing about football, you're good. I think we have 2, maybe 3 more episodes in front of us, riders. Then it will be time to say goodbye to this series with a very special episode. Also, coming soon, my first thoughts about his successor, Kamen Rider Drive. So, what did you think of this episode, Rider fans? Let me know in the comments or on one of my social media accounts. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you still haven't, and share this video with who you think may like it too. Già ne!